Hey lovelies, welcome to my channel. This is True North Zodiac Tarot, and sorry, I was just hesitating because this is my first time. You guys are literally the first video ever for this channel, and I have another tarot channel that does pick a card readings called Elle's Temple, and I am just kind of getting used to doing new intros that aren't the same format. So apologies. That's not a great start, is it? But anyway, we're going to move straight on. These readings are going to be, I thought I'd set up a separate space because I know a lot of people who like the kind of zodiac sign readings don't necessarily watch picker cards and vice versa. So I thought I'd just put all the zodiac sign readings all in one space. We're going to try and do them. I'm going to say this now. I'm going to try and do them weekly, but I might not always get through every sign every single week. The readings are timeless, so they're not going to be specific to that week or that month. At the moment, I happen to be filming this on the Scorpio new moon and Scorpio eclipse. So if you are watching this at the time of upload, you can certainly use it as a check-in on what's coming in for you around the time of the Scorpio new moon for sure, but you don't have to. Like, if you are drawn to the title or the picture or something, the energy or whatever, at a later time, trust that it is meant for you. It's completely timeless. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So I'm going to be pulling some cards to begin with from the Everyday Witch Tarot, which I absolutely love, and I use it myself almost every day. Yeah, it's a great deck, especially if you're fairly new to tarot, because I just find it really, really intuitive. So anyway, we're going to do some tarot, and then I've got two oracle decks, a Wild Woman Oracle and Goddesses, Gods and Guardians card, which we are going to go into straight after. So let's see, Spirit, can you tell me what is coming in for my Aries crew? What's coming in for Aries at the moment? The time of watching. Woohoo! 3 of Cups. Wowza. Fantastic. Celebrations are coming in for you guys. You're celebrating something for sure. There's some kind of gatherings, parties, celebrating, maybe getting drunk. I see some of you going to like some parties and having really good time with your friends or with groups of people. Or if not kind of specifically going to like a party atmosphere, then certainly just celebrating something, some kind of milestone or some kind of energy, something that is going really, really well. So that is amazing. Let's see what else have we got coming in? Oh yeah, 10 of Wands in reverse though. So you guys it looks like maybe you're celebrating the end of a burden, something that you've finally completed, some kind of cycle, you're closing something out. You've kind of lugged all these heavy brooms to the top of a mountain or some kind of heavy project, or I see some of you certainly doing that with work, like you've reached some kind of milestone at work, you've completed some kind of huge project or something that was really tough. You can see here she is sweating and looks pretty knackered from trying to get all the way up the mountain. And that coming out in reverse is like you're really just letting that cycle go. It's kind of the very tail end of a time of burden, really. So let's see what other messages we've got for Aries. That one flipped. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, new offer coming in, something steady, something secure. So this could be celebrating letting go of an old job or something, or an old contract or something that just wasn't serving you. It could even be like a habit or just a way of being, but something you're letting go of, something's completing and closing out. And you've got some new offer coming in off the back of that. This lovely knight in his lovely green leggings is coming in. He's a bit slow and steady. You know, he's not already whizzing around flying like the Knight of Wands, like with that fire energy. It's Pentacles energy, so it's kind of slow but steady wins the race. It's that kind of tortoise energy. It's very earth energy. This person could be an earth sign, so the person giving you the offer could be, I've just gone completely mad. Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, sorry. they could be in a sign, if it could be a romantic offer for some of you where you're celebrating some kind of, you might be single, suddenly newly single, and you're letting go of an old relationship, and this is a new offer of love coming in, or some kind of new person coming in, or it could be a new job offer. Pentacles is to do with money, stability, security, so this could certainly be a job offer or some kind of new contract coming in that is very stable. So let's see what else we've got in the cards for Aries. Whoa, that is a lot of energy. Okay, so we've got Seven of Swords in reverse. So for those of you that are going through some kind of relationship thing where, like, I saw some of you like going out with single ladies or men, or however you identify, single peeps, you're single folk, and celebrating and being like, woohoo, we're single, we're free, like, yay. And you were letting go of perhaps a relationship or something, or just a kind of burdensome time. We've got Seven of Swords here. This person's sneaking off with like a bunch of swords, like almost like they've stolen something, but this came out in reverse. So it's like this, I feel like this energy or this person is gone from your life. So we've got two of the potentially quite challenging cards, 10 of Wands and Seven of Swords, both in reverse. Like this period is something that's closing out. And now, if you are watching this at the time of upload, the Scorpio new moon, this could well be what's going on for you right now, what you've just been sort of purging. Like usually around times of eclipses or especially Scorpio season, it's normally quite transformative time. This particular time of year is dealing with a lot of change and a lot of like purging out old things that aren't serving us. So but if you're not watching this at Scorpio new moon, it does not matter. It just could be something that was not really working for you that's kind of closing out, and you're letting go of some sort of potentially quite deceptive energy that was in your life, or something that was like, I'm sort of seeing a almost like an energy vampire type situation, or something where your energy was getting drained. Someone was taking something from you and it wasn't really reciprocal. Which is probably why it felt like a huge burden, whatever the situation was, whether it was work, you know, maybe you were being overworked and your boss or your job was just taking and not really giving you the either the recognition or the pay or whatever you deserved, and being a bit sneaky about sort of, you know, your work contract or something like that. Or it could be that you know, this was to do with like you picking up the burden in a relationship, like, and this could be a sort of a past situation. This could have happened a while ago. It might not be that this is in the immediate past. It might be this is sort of an old cycle, but you know, it's being purged out of you at the moment, that kind of way of relating, or that kind of pattern or whatever of sort of overgiving and overburdening yourself and taking on other people's stuff and other people's jobs that aren't really yours, or you know, in the home or in a relationship, like, you know, you're the one who's always kind of doing everything around the house or something like that. It's like you're closing that out, you're letting that go. You're letting go of this kind of slightly sneaky energy. You're letting go of that sneaky energy. And then we had Four of Swords, which is healing, really, and it's healing after a difficult period, because Four of Swords comes immediately after the Three of Swords, and Three of Swords can often be to do with a heartbreak. So again, that dynamic that I saw coming up for some of you, and of course this won't be for all of you, but for some of you where this is to do with a relationship and letting go of something that just wasn't working. It might have caused a bit of a heartbreak. I feel like that was in the past. It might be in the recent past for some of you. I'm so sorry if that is something you've just gone through. I know how tough that is. Or it might be something that happened a little while ago, but there's still a little bit of healing to do, because Four of Swords talks about healing in order to kind of, it's not like healing and in this endless forever, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to be like Sleeping Beauty and just like for years and years, just, you know, when is my prince or princess or whatever ever gonna come, because I'm just gonna be stuck in this healing for like another decade. No, it's like there's one cycle, there's another kind of there's just a little bit of residual stuff that needs to be cleared out, a little bit of residual healing to do. And it's interesting, we've got this new crescent moon here. So again, for those of you that are watching this at the time of upload, Scorpio new moon, this could be a really powerful, transformative, potent time for you to do that clearing and healing. And it may be that you don't even really need to sort of do very much like actual conscious healing in terms of like, oh, I've got to go and like find a therapist, or I've got to go and do a whole lot of deep stuff. It's like actually just resting, to be honest, just really resting and taking care of yourself, and going within and just reflecting, and just allowing the energy to kind of release and shift is enough. Spirit saying like that's really your work. It's interesting she's wearing a green dress, which is green is linked with the heart chakra, so you know, maybe something to do with, and actually I was drawn to wear a green scarf today for your reading, so something related to the heart chakra could be quite you know, maybe some crystals related to that, healing the heart chakra. Rose quartz is really good for that, or any kind of green crystal. Green aventurine, I'm hearing, could be a good one as well. So any kind of heart chakra related crystals, if you're into crystals. There's chakra music channels on YouTube. You could always just play some music, but just really use the season to rest and recover. And don't worry that, like I'm seeing with the cobwebs here, some of you are like, oh, I'm gonna end up like kind of all old, and like cobwebs are just gonna grow around me, and you know, this is just gonna take forever. Like, no, like it's a cycle. It's something that you need to go through to release this sort of past burden, whatever that was, and this past like pattern perhaps of overgiving. I think with you guys, Aries, you are, because you're doers, and you're that fire sign, and you're the first sign of the zodiac, so you have that real kind of like passion and go getter attitude, and you can be, it's not quite impulsive necessarily, but like you can jump into things because you've got that like fire energy to get really attracted to something and get into something, and then sometimes quite easily take on more than is yours to take on, like shoulder more of a burden than is actually for you to shoulder. It's like you're kind of almost needing to prove something. So there might be a bit of a pattern there just to kind of think about and look at releasing, because and also this doesn't really come naturally for you, this restful energy, because you're quite, being a fire sign and having that Aries, like the ram, it's like your energy is more like this typically, like I've just got to keep pushing, like I've just got to keep going for it, like we'll make it work, it'll be fine, like we can do it, you know. If I just keep pushing, if I just keep taking on more, if I keep doing it, you know, and if I keep kind of, it's that ram energy, like if I ram up against the fence enough, the fence will break, you know. And it's like, no. Spirit is like, no, you need to rest, you need to lay down and heal and just allow the stuff to release, and like stop pushing and let it go. I'm hearing that Frozen song, like let it go, like let go of whatever those burdens are, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's taking on too much, whether it's a pattern, habit, whatever it is. You've got to let it go, you've got to rest. It's very important to rest during this next cycle and allow yourself to heal, so that you can go into the next cycle with a more steady energy, a more earthy energy. So it could, now this could be you stepping into this Knight of Pentacles, or this could be someone coming in for you or with an offer for you or something like that. And then the last card we got was the Four of Pentacles, which I think, did that come out in reverse? I've forgotten. Let's see. Which way? Slightly in reverse, yeah. I feel like, yeah, this is kind of saying Four of Pentacles can be to do with like clinging onto something, or being a little bit maybe possessive, or holding on to something. You can see in this case he's in a jail cell or something, and he's sitting on his treasure chest, and he's like, nope, I'm not going anywhere, and no one can have this is mine. And yeah, it's interesting because this is not normally your energy, but I feel like in this case, whatever this is about, whatever that burden is that you're releasing, this completion of this 10 of Wands cycle, and this letting go of this, whatever that sneaky energy was, someone who was taking your energy, whether it's work or a partner, there's something around like you trying to still make it work, or trying to still hold on to it, or hold on hope, or something like that. And it's kind of saying, with it being a bit wishy-washy, it coming out sort of almost in reverse, it's like, maybe it's time to let that go. Maybe we need to just let go of that, and what's meant for you will come back for you once you've gone through this like rest and healing. I feel like this could actually even just be a case of like, if you are trying to kind of manifest something, whatever it is, this steadier period, whether this is a person or a relationship, a job, or whatever, it could be sort of saying like, stop holding on so much, stop trying so hard, just rest and be in your feminine energy. And now I'm not saying that for like, you could be man, woman, whatever, however you identify. Feminine energy is within all of us. We have a mix of feminine and masculine energy, and some women operate more from masculine energy, and some men operate more from feminine energy, or, again, however you identify. It can be a mix. It's the energy, it's not the gender. So feminine energy is being in that receptive state and being in a sort of magnetic state. It's that whole idea of like, I attract, I don't chase. So again, whether that's job, whether that's person, whether it's, money, whatever it might be, it's being kind of sitting back and being like, no, I'm magnetic. I'm the shit. I'm the shizzle, Aries. And that's quite unusual for you, I think, because like Aries energy is to, like I said, it's go-getter energy. It's to like be the ram and kind of go after something and push against those barriers until you break them and kind of make something happen. So to be in this energy is quite a bit of a gear change, a bit of a gear shift change for you. But that's what you're sort of being asked to do in whatever the scenario is. Now, comment below, because I'd be very interested to see what your scenarios are. If you feel comfortable, you don't have to, but this could relate to all different things. So it'll be interesting to see how it kind of plays out. Because I feel like there's something you need to kind of like let go of, or let go of holding on to so tightly, and like just allow and just magnetize. And if it's meant to be, and what's meant to be for you will just magnetize to you. And if it's not meant to be, it'll it's like it will vibrate out of your circle kind of thing. And the people and the activities that are meant for you, that are fulfilling. Cups are to do with fulfillment and happiness and love and joy and celebration. So these are your tribe, these are your people. If people make you feel like this, like the hopefully you can see the faces of these women in this card, they're very happy, they're content. If you feel like this around someone, that's a good energy. That means it's uplifting, it's giving you something. These people are reciprocating the cup that you give to them, they give back. It's a reciprocal energy, because we spoke of that with the 10 of Wands and with the 7 of Swords, of someone sort of stealing your energy, like sneaking off and taking something, like being a bit deceptive. Could be an infidelity for some of you if it's to do with letting go of a relationship, but I feel like in general, it's to do with like energy. It's like your energy's been taken, or like you've been taken advantage of. You've been, someone's just sort of sitting back and they're not doing anything, this sneaky person, and you're giving them a lot of energy and a lot of support and whatever, and they're just running off with it basically. So you're letting that go. You're healing and resting and letting go of clinging on to things that just aren't really serving you anymore. I feel like that's the kind of vibe generally that I've got from the tarot. So we're going to pull a couple of oracle cards and see what guidance we have for you. So this is the gorgeous Wild Woman oracle, or Wild Man. It's officially called Wild Woman, but these are just feminine and goddess energies. So we all, again, regardless of how we identify and what gender we are, we have these energies within us. So let's see, Spirit, what guidance do we have for Aries at the moment? The guidance card for Aries. Guidance card for Aries. There we go. Yes, what was I saying? This is perfect. Freya, Lady of Love and War. Self-love. Yeah. Self-love, rest, recover, rejuvenate, take care of yourself, nourish yourself. You know, go out with people who nurture you and light you up and give something back. This Freya card can be to do with like it talks a little bit about codependency and being a bit like sort of self-sacrificing or losing yourself in relationships. So for those of you that are resonating with the relationship side of things, where are we? Sorry, with this Seven of Swords, this could be like, you know, speaking of someone who's kind of been taking your energy quite a lot in a relationship thing, and you've ended up getting quite drained and needing to rest and really recover from that. Because this card talks a lot about like making sure that you have both sides of Freya within you, that you have both the goddess of love and the goddess of war. And it's not war in terms of like going out and killing people type of war. It's just like asserting yourself, like standing up for yourself, fighting for yourself, like still having your own life, like fighting for your own values and your own life, and not just like kind of sacrificing yourself, like with this burden card, you know, burning yourself out and like carrying all the burdens for other people. Like that's no good for anyone. It's going to burn you out, and then people just take from you, and then, you know, you end up sort of burnt out and resentful. And it's really important to keep both facets of the goddess alive. Yes, you have that element, and again, whether you're man or woman, it doesn't matter. You have that element within you to be you know, a loving partner and give something of yourself to your partner, but it shouldn't be at the expense of you and your life. It needs to be in balance. You know, you still need both capacities, both sides of Freya. She's got you know, this like bird here, which is the kind of more like receptive, magnetic, like perhaps feminine side, the kind of spiritual side of her. But she's also got a shield here, which is like it's not right up like in front of her heart, like no one come near me, but it's at the ready to be like, yeah, I've got boundaries, I respect myself, I will fight if I need to, and I will stand up for myself, and I will assert myself when I need to. So I'm being guided to stop blathering on and read a little bit from the book, because I think there's something in here. It's kind of what I was just saying, but the message is, how can I bring greater harmony between the lover and the warrior archetypes within myself to ensure I'm neither losing myself in another nor closing myself off to the love I deserve? And her message is, as women, too often we sacrifice our true needs and desires and lose ourselves in our romantic partners. While it is only natural to want to love and be loved by another, Freya reminds you that you have a responsibility to love yourself first, as how you treat yourself truly does set the standard for how others, especially romantic partners, will treat you. Yeah, it's this, you know, letting go of this pattern of people taking from you. Because if you're over giving, Aries, if you're giving every single wand, all 10 wands of you, until you're just exhausted like this, like that's just going to create an uneven dynamic where someone's going to take. I'm not saying, please no, I'm not saying like, it's all your fault. Like, why did you do that? Like, why did you give them everything? Like, oh my God, I have been there. Like, you know, like I am not one to talk. It's not to like throw shade on you or say like you've done something wrong. Like, this is a huge lesson. In fact, I think in this book it talks about, let me just see if it says, Yeah, I'm going to read this bit because it's just really useful. So Freya embodies the essence of self-love by maintaining perfect harmony between the lover and warrior archetypes. Although love and war may not seem intrinsically tied at first glance, they are two of the most uncontrollable passions known to humankind. As the goddess of love, Freya knows that she is worthy of being loved and desired, and she seeks to unite with the other and to truly know and be known. As the goddess of war, Freya is focused and self-aware and doesn't allow others to divert her attention away from what is truly meaningful to her. Although she accepts that she is a relational being, she will readily use her sword to cut away codependent, unhealthy bonds and her shield to set uncompromising boundaries. Because at the end of the day, the warrior in Freya loves herself enough to protect, honor, and fight for herself first. And Aries, this is a perfect card for you because like you are the warrior archetype. You have this within you already. It's just like fine-tuning a little bit so that that warrior archetype is like fighting for yourself and not for someone else at the expense of yourself, because you're already naturally a warrior. You already naturally have that energy. You're already naturally a fighter anyway. It's just like making sure that you're setting appropriate boundaries so that you don't get taken advantage of. And again, whether this is in love or, you know, even though this card talked a lot about love, you could apply this situation to a work scenario or something, or a friendship even, you know, just anything where you're overgiving and at the expense of yourself, when you're not asserting yourself or putting up healthy boundaries. You know, it could be a workplace for sure. I definitely picked up a vibe that some of you, this is what's been going on at work and you've been taken advantage of in a work scenario. Maybe some of you have been like overworking, overgiving in work, and it's just been taken and not really respected. So either way, it's like making sure that you're sticking up for yourself and putting those boundaries up where you need to. So I'm going to leave it there because I feel like that's kind of the end of the message. I don't think we're going to pull a card from the other oracle deck. I think that's kind of really a compact message all in one. So thank you so much for being on my new channel. I'm so excited to have you here. Please leave a message below if this resonated. I would love to hear from you and see how this is playing out in your life at the moment. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you'd like to be notified when I next upload a reading. As I said, I'm going to try and do these every week as much as possible. But like I said, they're totally timeless. So just have a look at whatever the topic is or the picture or whatever it is that draws you in, and just trust that the message is meant for you when you see it. Thanks so much for being here. All my love, Aries. Bye.